Blackrock, right, have just bought £1.4 billion worth of UK homes. Lloyds Bank want to build a portfolio of 50,000 homes by 2030. That's public information. What we're seeing right now is massive institutions buying up all of our homes across the UK, right? We're not going to live in a society where you can own your own home. You will just rent. We'll become a society of renters. And that will probably happen over the next 15, 20 years. This is probably one of the last buying cycles you can have. And what's sad about that is that if you are, 85-year-old Paul, right, and you can't afford your rent this month, normally you call up your landlord, and despite what people say and media says, like most landlords are good, humane people, you come to some sort of agreement, right? But you can't call up a massive US private equity firm based in New York, right? And to them, you're just a line item, right? It's going to be really, really bad. And it's going to be much harder for us and much harder for society as a whole. But what's happening right now is that all of our homes in the UK are being bought up by multinationals.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, double honors to the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings to the hopeful elect, pushing his truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe, in the sincere hopes of being delivered in these last days. Alright, this is the brother Yakanan from the GMS England branch. And this is going to be a brief video based, of course, upon that short clip that you just seen. And you had this man going into information concerning a deal that Blackrock has made out here in the UK that's worth £1.4 billion. And it's an investment, in the housing market. Now, the reason, that's important is because, there's been a lot of talk about, major, enterprises, purchasing properties. And, of course, that leads to less houses, on the housing market for the people. But more importantly, that leads to less ownership for people and availability for individuals to buy, okay? Which means that, they're streamlining, the housing market, to these enterprises. So the more that happens, the more people are being pushed into a rental, situation. And not ownership. And as we know, as the agenda goes, you will own nothing and you'll be happy. And that term was coined by the World Economic Forum, okay? And, we know that's the agenda, that's the plan, all right, to get rid of ownership and have everything on a subscription, slash, rental basis, which gives them, full control, all right? That's part of the New World Order system, all right, the New World Order agenda of the wicked elites of Esau Edom, okay? So, upon, watching that video, I, done a fact check on the information, that the man was talking about, all right, because, we got to do that, especially in this day and time. You can't trust anything, that you really come across. You have to verify information that you come across because there's so much misinformation out there. It's unbelievable, all right? Now, upon doing the fact check and really, just in general trying to find out more information in regards to this, into what the man was talking about, I came across this particular article called Logically Facts, and it says BlackRock did not make 1.4 billion real estate deal in the UK housing market. So I thought to myself, let me keep, reading on, because they actually referenced the same video. But then check this out. It says a misleading social media post misleadingly claimed that Blackrock, a large American investment company, has purchased £1.4 billion worth of UK homes. The post contains a video in which the speaker says this is equivalent to over 50,000 homes. Now check this out. It says, on iteration of the post on X garnered 1.4 million views. The claim is also circulating on Facebook, where one post from March 18th had been shared over 1,000 times by March 20th. However, logically, facts found that these claims are misleading. Now, check out the reason why they're saying that it's misleading. It says, according to a press release from Vistry Group, who along with Regis Group, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, represented the other parties in ongoing development deal, the agreement was entered into the private equity firm Blackstone, not Blackrock. The two companies are both American, but Blackrock, another American investment firm that sits at the epicenter of numerous conspiracy theories, is not the firm involved. Now check this out. The two firms are often confused, and Blackrock began from within Blackstone before splitting into its own firm. However, Blackrock's remaining shareholding percentage in Blackstone does not mean that Blackrock owns 6.5% of the Blackstone company. All right. So based upon that alone, what we find is that Blackstone and Blackrock is pretty much the same thing. Okay, as we've just read, it's the same thing. They both originate from the same source. All right, so they've actually said that that information that was brought out is misleading. Okay, because the individual in the video said Blackrock and not Blackstone. Now again, it says the two firms are often confused, and Blackrock began from within Blackstone. So Blackrock comes out of Blackstone before splitting into his own firm. Okay, so no doubt, they still have ties, they still have shareholding, so on and so forth. Okay, but that's how, the wicked elites of Esau get down. That's how the ruling, banking families get down. All right, they create, multiple different enterprises, multiple different companies, and that's how they operate. Okay, and that's how they disguise themselves, under many different names and many different, enterprises, man. Okay? That's what they do. So, it's safe to say that it's pretty much the same individuals, all right, that are pushing the same agenda of owning everything and pushing the vibration of you will own nothing and you will be happy. Okay? You remember, the ruling class elites of Esau Edom or a very small few, number of individuals. So they're all connected. Doesn't matter what company, what name it's under. It's all the same. It's all the same stuff, man. All right. It's all, the rulership of Esau Edom that are doing these things and making these movements. Okay. Now, it says Blackstone's website attests to its aims in massive buy-to-let investment in the United Kingdom, describing its plan to invest in the future of the UK by developing thousands of new houses through our portfolio companies. This is confirmed by The Telegraph, which reported in June 2024 that Blackstone, not Blackrock, had agreed to spend $1.4 billion on homes, equating to approximately 4,500 homes and not 50,000. As of the publication date of the article, 1,750 of these homes had been acquired subsequent to the acquisition of 2,800 homes in November 2023, all as part of this deal. All right. So again, the agenda is that they're, buying out, the property market out here in the UK, and I'm sure many other places throughout the four corners of the globe. All right. And that's to capitalize on the housing market. Okay. And that's to obviously have more control on who can own and who can't. All right, same thing they're doing with precious metals, with gold and with silver. Okay, they're going to be doing with the housing market, with the with cars and anything that people desire and that people need, to live and sustain themselves. Okay, you got the Bill Gates of hell, buying up all the farmland. Okay, so these themes are continuing, and this is pushing the New World Order system. All right, and it just shows you that how misleading these fact checking sites actually are. You have to take a real deeper look into the information that's being presented. All right, because it's very misleading. Even these fact checking sites are very misleading. Okay. Just because it's the company's called Blackstone or not Blackrock, they've said that this is misleading, but ultimately it's the same thing. All right, so ultimately the information that's being brought out is indeed factual. Okay, because these companies are all in the same pocket. All right, now let's get a few scriptures. I want to start off with Proverbs chapter 29. And verse 2, and it reads, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. All right, and that's exactly what's happening upon the earth, man. All right, the wicked are bearing rule and the people are mourning, but people are about to mourn much more. Okay, because when they start revoking your perceived liberty that you think you have, and your ability to live and sustain yourself and to have a roof over your head, that's when things are going to get real terrible upon the earth, man. All right, because again, they're looking to capitalize and dominate every market in existence, in particular the food and the the housing market. Okay, because that's what people need. People need to be able to eat to sustain themselves, and they need a roof over their head. So if they control those two departments, all right, that they basically control everything. Okay, if you have control over those factors, you control the people, and you can make people do anything, include take an MOTB, which is their plan ultimately. All right, they want to chip the people. And it says in the NLT, when the godly are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked are in power, they groan. All right, so there's going to be a lot more groaning, upon the earth, the closer that we get to, the end of this man's kingdom. There's going to be a lot more groaning. There's going to be a lot more harsh and draconian behavior that we're going to witness from the wicked elites of Esau Edom and from the governing bodies that are underneath them. All right, now let's get right quick. Let's get Psalms 58, and I believe it's the third verse, just concerning these misleading articles and information that's out there. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 58 and verse 3, and it reads, the wicked are estranged from the womb; they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. All right, and that's why the scriptures tell us that never trust thine enemy. Okay, because there's so much misinformation out there, there's so much lies out there. Us as bearers of the light, of the right hand side, we have to do our due diligence, to make sure that we're not being misled by the misinformation and by the traps that the wicked elites of Esau Edom with his witchcraft media is putting out there. Okay, so again, the wicked are estranged from the womb; they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. This kingdom is full of lies. It's full of traps. It's full of misinformation. Okay, that summarizes the kingdom of Esau Edom. It's built upon lies, but through this truth, through the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, them lies are being cast down. Them lies are being brought to naught through this truth, through the light that's piercing through the darkness. Okay, now from there, let's get because this is one of the first scriptures that came to mind when I was watching that video. Let's get Proverbs 22 and verse 7, and it reads, "The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender." Okay, now who are the rich in this world? All right, the ruling elites, the major banking families of Esau, Edom, beginning with the Rothschilds. They're the rich of this world. Okay, and the scripture says, and the borrower is servant to the lender. All right, so anyone that's under the wicked elites of Esau, Edom, a part of this world, you're a servant unto them. Okay, that's why you have, in America, you have a social security number. Over here in the UK, you have your birth certificate. You're linked in on the system. All right, you are owned by the wicked elites, of Esau, Edom. Okay, they own your children. You don't own your children. You being a part of this grid, a part of the system, they ultimately own you. All right, but through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, we are free in Yahweh Shai ultimately, because we have this truth. But while we are in the how can I say this? While we are in the grips, in the claws, of the devil, of Esau, Edom, we are subject, to a certain extent under his rule until Yahweh Shai, comes and frees us, So again, it says the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. Now, even applying that, to this whole situation with the housing market, and then purchasing up all of the properties, and, purchasing up the farms and, the major industries that people need to sustain themselves and survive, that makes you a servant, to the lender, because they're literally gonna give these things back to you in very small, increments. For example, they're transforming, the motor industry. They don't want anyone to own cars. They don't want anyone, to own houses. They want everything to be based upon rental, based on subscription. That's how they want everything to be. Okay, they don't want you to own nothing. Again, you will own nothing and you will be happy. That's the agenda. That's the plan. So you're literally, a servant to the lender, and they're going to be the ultimate lenders. You're not going to be able to, have gold, have silver, have precious metals, gemstones. You're not going to be able to have anything that's of value. Anything you have will be, merely on a subscription basis or on a borrowing basis. Okay, that's what the elites of Esau, Edom are manifesting upon the earth with this society. Verse 8 says, "He that soweth iniquity shall reap vanity, and the rod of his anger shall fail." And in the NLT it says, "Those who plant injustice," all right, which Esau is the master at planting injustice, will harvest disaster. All right, that's going to be the end works of Esau, Edom. He's going to harvest disaster. Okay, his kingdom is going to be thrown down, and he's going to ultimately be destroyed. And it says, "And their reign of terror will come to an end." All right, yeah, and the reign of terror of Esau, Edom will indeed come to an end. Okay, like the scriptures tell us, this man is a vessel of wrath, fitted to destruction, man. All right, the Lord didn't set Esau, Edom up to rule, for an eternity. All right, the scriptures clearly tell us that he's ruling for a short season. Okay, and then the Lord is going to come back and dethrone this devil. Okay, that's exactly what's going to happen. So Esau is not going to continue ruling. We're actually at the end of his rulership right now. We're at the decline of his power right now. And if you can see the signs, you'll be able to identify that, man. All right. Now let's get one more scripture, then we'll close out. Let's get the book of Micah, chapter 2. And we'll start from the top, verse 1. And it says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands." All right, so these devils are always devising iniquity, with their evil schemes, and they're working evil upon their beds. All right, they're continually thinking up, evil plans and demonic, devices in order to bring in this new world order system. All right, and to bring in, more importantly, the MOTB, which is prophecy, Revelation 13 and 16. Okay, and that's the thing. This is all biblical prophecy. They're meant to be doing this. Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, has programmed them, all right, to be in this spirit and to bring forth these things, for the Lord's work. All right. And it says, verse 2, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Now let's read it in the NLT. It says, when you want a piece of land, you find a way to seize it. All right. And Esau does that. All right. Esau has corporations that will bully, all right, individuals that don't necessarily want to move house or don't want to accept a payout, and he'll bully those people for decades until he gets those lands. You see examples of that all the time. You hear stories about that when they might want to build, for example, a huge, retail park or a shopping complex, but there's like, a handful of individuals that don't want to move from the area and don't want to accept a payout or buyout. So they'll continually bully those people in different ways, shapes, and forms until they get that property, man. Okay? They'll find a way to get you out. That's the nature, of Esau, Edom. So it says, when you want a piece of land, you find a way to seize it. When you want someone's house, you take it by fraud and violence. All right? You cheat a man of his property, stealing his family's inheritance, man. Esau, Edom is the master at doing that. Okay? He is the master at doing that. He's done that throughout the four corners of the globe. As it tells us in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, he neither keepeth at home. Okay? And the scriptures also tell us that he spread himself like a green bay tree. All right? This devil is everywhere throughout the four corners of the globe, man. Okay? So he's got to go. All right? This devil has got to go, man. All right? So with that, Lord willing, this video has been edifying. And until the next time, I'll say shalom.